If you thought TV was exciting before,
That'll give you an idea of what our musical horn sounds like.
now you should check out Bill Nye the Science Guy. It's new and improved TV, fortified with chewy bits of fun science. It's Bill Nye the Science Guy. Ask for it by name. More science, fewer horns.
Weekdays at 4:30 on Kazoo.
You're watching Alabama Public TV, Kazoo.
By the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and viewers like you.
Drat. Every time I attempt a despicable crime, those Acme Time pilots foil my plans. There must be something I can do about it. I know. I'll attempt a despicable crime. That ought to work. I summon Survive.
I serve for honor, for evil, forever!
Yes! I'm sending you through the time port to Kentucky in 1775. There's something very special I want you to steal. Bring it back to me in this loot orb when you have it. Now off with you.
Time pilots, Survival just stole something from the past. You've got 28 minutes to get it back, or history will change forever. Boot up the chrono computer. Launch the time probes. Power up the engines. Now get going.
We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. Chrono skimmer, engines hot, bio-villains, evil plot. Our brave squadron leader will help us defeat her and bring back the loot to its rightful place in time. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego to stop her crime and solve this mystery. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego. We're on the case and we're chasing her through history.
And here's your time pilot squadron leader, Kevin Shinnick. Kevin? Kevin!
Well, welcome aboard, everybody. I want you to hang on tight because we've got a very big mission, but very little time. So let's begin today's journey by meeting our time pilots, starting with Gina Gilroy. Gina, nice to see you. And Ben Silverman. Ben, thanks for coming aboard, buddy. And Allison Califano. Allison, nice to see you. Well, welcome aboard, time pilots. By now you heard the mission from the chief. We're going to start off by giving each of you 100 power points. Now, pilots, our nanoprobes have revealed the time and place where Carmen has sent Survival. So, let's get things started. Bridge to engine room. Let's warp to the time of the crime. Chief, we've arrived sideways. Safely. What's our mission profile?
Squadron, you've time traveled to 1775. Location, the place we now call Kentucky. Back then, Daniel Boone and some men were blazing a trail through Cumberland Gap. A company had hired them in hopes of establishing Kentucky as the 14th colony. Boone and his team improved and connected Indian hunting paths through the mountains, creating a trail that led deep into the Kentucky region. The plan for the colony failed, but the path became a key pioneer route. Within 25 years, around 200,000 settlers had used the trail to head west. Or so history told us till now, when Survival went back in time and ripped off the route.
Thanks a lot, Chief. All right, pilots, for 10 power points, what did Survival steal? Was it the Wilderness Road, the Freedom Trail, or the Path of Least Resistance? Remembering the clues we just heard. 1775, in what's now called Kentucky. Daniel Boone cuts trail through the Cumberland Gap, and key route for pioneers heading west. Gina, what did you say?
I said the Wilderness Road.
Okay, Ben?
I said the Wilderness Road.
And Allison?
I said the Freedom Trail.
All right, the correct answer is the Wilderness Road. That's 10 points for Gina and Ben. Allison, don't worry about it. It's early on in the mission. Good, I'm glad you feel that way. You know, Time Pilots, if one of you can save History of Trails and capture Carmen Sandiego, you'll win a complete multimedia computer system. It's not bad, right? The problem is, and the question is, where in time is Survival taken the Wilderness Road? Because... wait a second, guys. Something's happening to the ship. I think they're breaking into our frequency.
Ha! Ye lily-livered time twerps! Thou shalt never find me!
I'm in the U.S. during Andrew Jackson's reign, when sorrow fills the hearts of the Cherokee people. They had been living peacefully in Georgia.
But now, land-hungry white settlers want the Cherokee territory for themselves.
So, the U.S. troops removed the natives, and the Cherokee are forced to march to Oklahoma, mostly on foot.
4,000 perished during this brutal journey, which shall come to be known as the Trail of Tears. Whoa. This gravest injustice offends even this vile knight's sense of honor.
All right, Time Pilots. Tell me, where in time is Survival? Is it 1800, 1838, or 1890? Remembering the clues we just heard. Andrew Jackson is president. Cherokee in Georgia are evicted from their homes and forced march, known as the Trail of Tears. All right, guys. Gina, what did you say?
I said 1838.
Okay, Ben?
I said 1838.
And Allison?
I also said 1838.
Well, you would also be correct, because the answer is 1838. 10 points for everybody. We like that, guys. You know, pilots, it's tough to look back on tragic events like the Trail of Tears, but remembering these events is our best hope for not repeating them. So, let's keep things moving. Bridge to engine crew. Let's warp to 1838. Okay, Time Pilots, we followed Survival to the year 1838, but he's about to do some globe hopping in the 1830s. So it's time for global pursuit. Grab your controls, watch the globe on your screen, and buzz in when you think you know the answer. If you're right, you're gonna get 5 power points. You're wrong, you lose 5. Remember, we're in the 1830s, okay? Here we go. Survival galloped to the city where a machine to mass-produce horseshoes is invented. Going to Ben.
Troy?
Correct. He's banked towards the river from which a 3-year expedition departs to explore the Rocky Mountains. Going this time to Gina.
Missouri?
Yes, it is. Just wait till I call it, just in case. Yes, it is Missouri. Now, Vile's in the state where Frederick Douglass settles after escaping from slavery. Going again to Gina.
Massachusetts?
Yes, it is Massachusetts. Very nice. Then he clanked to the state where the first all-metal bridge in the U.S. is built. Going this time to Ben.
Maine?
No, I'm sorry, it's Pennsylvania. It's all right, early on. Vile docked in the city where a ship completes the first transatlantic crossing using only steam power. Going again to Ben.
New York.
Correct. See, I told you you'd have another shot. You got it. Very nice, guys. It was a great pursuit squadron. But unfortunately, Survival has escaped New York just before we arrive. You know, so for our next clue, we're gonna have... Hey, it's the clue finders, guys. Locked on to someone in the future. Let's bring them on board, see if they can help us.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Say, you seem pretty excited, fella.
Why, yes, I am. World War I is over. Charles Lindbergh just made the first non-stop solo flight from New York to Paris.
Wow.
And I'm going to try out a brand new highway that just opened called Route 66.
Oh, what's so exciting about that?
Well, highways used to be paid for and built by individuals or local groups. But now we have a national highway system. Why, I can go from Chicago all the way to California on this new Route 66. Hooray! Hooray!
So the government just built the whole highway?
Oh, no. Route 66 connected many highways and roads that were already in existence. And only about 800 miles of it are actually paved.
Really?
The other 1,600 or so miles are still dirt, bricks, and sometimes just wooden planks on the ground.
Wow, it sounds like it's gonna be a pretty bumpy ride.
It sure will, and I can't wait to get started. Hooray!
Hey, wait. Before you go, why not have one of these?
Why, thank you, sir.
There you go.
Don't hit it so hard.
I'm so
okay? That's
sorry.
good. Hey, stop, don't touch
Okay,
that.
just like
I'll
this.
see you on the open road. Hooray!
Hey, drive carefully. Hey, watch where you're going. Wow. My goodness. Hooray, hooray. Well, you know, a little advertising never hurt anyone, right? Even on PBS. My goodness, hope he's okay. All right, pilots, tell me the decade where we'll find Servile. Is it the 1920s, the 1930s, or the 1940s? Remembering the clues we just heard. After World War I, opening of Route 66, an interstate highway system from Chicago, Illinois to Santa Monica, California. All right, Gina, what did you say?
I said the 1920s.
All right, Ben?
I said the 1920s.
And Allison?
I said the 1940s.
All right, the correct answer is the 1920s. It's 10 points for Gina and Ben. Don't worry, Allison, you know, early on in the mission, like I said. And you know, pilots, during the Great Depression, poor farmers often migrated from the Midwest to California on Route 66. But the route may be permanently rerouted if we don't get back the Wilderness Road. So, let's keep things moving. Engine room, let's warp to the 1920s.
Thy mechanical beast is no match for Servile.
Kevin, Servile ruptured the time probe chamber. You better do a data boost.
All right, pilots, let's help Jamie out. We made it to the 1920s, but we've got to do a data boost. So time pilots, I'll name an event. Your job, buzz it and tell me if it happened in the 1920s or the 1980s. Okay, remember, 20s or 80s. Here we go. U.S. black population is 26.5 million. Going to Gina.
The 1920s.
Believe it or not, it's 1981. Canada's population is 24 million. Going this time to Ben.
The 1980s.
Yes, again, 1981. Bomb explodes on Wall Street, killing 30. Going this time to Allison.
1980s.
No, I'm sorry, it's 1920. In fact, it was never proven who planted the bomb near the headquarters of J.P. Morgan and Company. U.S. Department of Education created. Going to Gina.
The 1920s.
No, I'm sorry, it's the 1980s. 1980 to be exact. Miniature golf introduced. Going to Ben.
In the 1920s?
Correct, 1926. That was a great data boost, pilots. And you know, just a reminder that all our data has been verified by Encyclopedia Britannica. So pilots, for the next part of this mission, we're gonna have to figure out how we can find out. Oh no, we're being pulled into a parallel universe! As I was saying, we must destroy that guardian of goodness, Carmen Sandiego. Oh, Commissar, you disgraced us with your presence.
Stop kissing up.
Oh, sorry.
You forgot to feed the plants.
Oh, forgive me, evil mistress. I shall do it now. Here, how about a little of this?
Good.
Oh, very nice.
Now, what news have you?
We have tracked Carmen to the Minneapolis public schools, where 3 student teachers just devised the Oregon Trail program.
Isn't that a computer game?
Yes, I hate games.
When I despise Oregon. Enough frivolity.
Sorry.
Continue.
Well, the game simulates a covered wagon trip along the Oregon Trail in the mid-1800s. Players must survive the 2,000-mile journey from Independence, Missouri to the Willamette Valley in Oregon.
Oh, this fun and case should have you nothing cheerful to report.
Well, there is a major oil and gas crisis in the U.S. causing chaos and misery throughout the land.
I'm feeling much better
I
already.
thought you would.
Now back to work.
Ooh, aye, Commissar. To wickedness, evil, destruction, and treachery! Oh, everybody okay?
Yeah.
Oh, good. All right. That guy with the chief looked familiar, didn't he? Oh, so we gotta check that out later. Was he one of the village people? Maybe. I'm not sure. Oh, probably. All right. All right, pilots. Name the decade where Servile has taken the wilderness road. Is it the 1970s, the 1980s, or the 1990s? Remembering the clues we just heard. Oregon Trail computer game is first developed. Simulates covered wagon trips along the Oregon Trail in 1800s. And major oil and gas crisis in the U.S. All right, Gina, what did you say?
I said the 1980s.
Okay, Ben?
I said the 1970s.
And Allison?
I said the 1970s.
All right, correct answer is the 1970s. 10 points for Ben and Allison. Ben, don't look so surprised. You guys are doing real well. You know, pilots, more than 12,000 people took the Oregon Trail to the Northwest during the 1800s. And thanks to computers, kids today can travel it in their own homes. But the history of trails is almost at a dead end. We've got to catch Servile. Okay, Squadron, we've got to make one final leap forward in time, and that means an ultimate data boost. Guys, in an ultimate data boost, each correct answer gets you 10 power points. But if you're wrong, you lose 10, all right? I'll give you a name. Your job, buzz in and answer trail, if it's the name of a famous trail, or trial, if it's a commonly used name for a famous court case. Again, your choices are trail or trial. Try and say them clearly so I can hear you, okay? Here we go. Appalachian. Going to Allison.
Trail?
Yes, it is a trail. You know, the Appalachian Trail, or as it's sometimes called, Appalachian, extends from Maine to Georgia. Very good. Ho Chi Minh. Going to Allison again.
Trial?
No, I'm sorry, it's a trail. Used by the North Vietnam as a troop and supply route during the Vietnam War. Nuremberg. Going to Ben.
Trail.
No, I'm sorry, it's a trial. In the Nuremberg trials after World War II, 24 Nazi leaders were tried for war crimes. Iditarod. Going this time to Gina.
The trail?
Trail, yes it is. It is a trail. Alaska's Iditarod Trail was a dog sled mail route. There is now an annual dog sled race by that name. Chisholm. Going to Ben.
Trial?
No, I'm sorry, it's a trail. These are tough. In the 1800s, cattle were driven along the Chisholm Trail, which ran from Texas to Kansas. Sacco and Vanzetti. Going to Ben.
Trial.
It is a trial. Very nice. Sacco and Vanzetti were Italian immigrants executed for murder in 1927. Many felt they didn't receive a fair trial. Scopes. Going again to Ben.
Trail?
No, this one was a trial. School teacher John Scopes was tried in 1925 for teaching the theory of evolution. All right, guys, that was a very tough one. Let's see how well we did. Now, Gina has 140 power points. Ben has 135, and Allison has 115. What that means is that Gina and Ben are moving on to the next phase of this mission. But Allison, you did so well today. You really did. Give me 5. And right now, the chief is here to express her appreciation.
Sometimes, no matter how bright you are, you just can't stop the night. But now you can shed light on any subject with the TimeNet Mission Pack, loaded with great stuff like Carmen CD-ROMs, the new Vile T-shirt, and Britannica's fascinating facts. From Acme TimeNet Command, we salute you.
Pilots, let's wave goodbye to Allison as she heads back to TimeNet Command. You guys ready for your next order from the chief?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ben, too? All right, Chief, we're ready.
Time pilots, the history of migration trails is at stake. Get to the USA in the 1970s and follow that road. Kevin, you're in command.
Aye, aye, Chief. Time pilots, full speed ahead to the 1970s. Look, Servile's got the trail in a cybersphere. Activate the loot tractor beam.
Now I'm really fired up, time pilots.
Oh, that evil one. But we've gotten back the Wilderness Road and have it safely on board. Congratulations, guys. Plus, you're now one step closer to winning that amazing multimedia computer system. But before we continue chasing Servile, we've got to return the loot to 1775. So let's check in with the Chief to get our flight plan. Chief!
Time pilots, you must navigate the chrono skimmer through 8 events from the history of trails and migration, starting at the most recent event and finishing at the least recent event. Here are the events on your flight plans. Daniel Boone blazes the Wilderness Road. The Alaska Highway is built during World War II. The Cherokee are forced to march on the Trail of Tears. The first time pilot runs the Trail of Time on Where in Time is Carmen, Sandiego. The first known U.S. road maps are published. The first automobile speed limits are passed in New York. Jack Kerouac's novel On the Road is first published. Harriet Tubman escapes slavery via the Underground Railroad. That's your briefing, time pilots. Good luck on your journey.
Thanks, Chief. All right, Gina, you had the higher score. You have the choice of going first or second.
I'll go second.
All right. Well, Ben, you know what that means? It's up to you to navigate this chrono skimmer back through time from the most recent event to the least recent event, starting by picking the most recent event on the board. You may begin.
First time pilot runs Trail.
You're all confused from before. Yes, 1996. Keep going.
First U.S. road maps published.
All right, going back to Gina.
The first time pilot runs Trail of Time.
Yes, you've navigated us to 1996.
Alaska Highway built during World War II.
All right, back to Ben.
First time pilot runs Trail of Time.
1996.
First auto speed limits passed in New York.
All right, going back to Gina.
The first time pilot runs Trail of Time.
Yes, 1996.
Kerouac's On the Road published.
Yes, Kerouac's On the Road published 1957. Keep going.
First auto speed limits passed in New York.
Oh, it's a tough one. Go ahead, Ben.
First time pilot runs Trail of Time.
1996.
Kerouac's On the Road published.
1957.
Tubman escapes via Underground Railroad.
Okay, going back to Gina.
First time pilot runs Trail of Time.
Yes, 1996.
Kerouac's On the Road published.
1957.
Alaska Highway built during World War II.
You've gotten us to 1942. It was built to provide a military supply route to Alaska. Keep going.
First U.S. road maps published.
All right, going back to Ben.
First time pilot runs Trail of Time.
1996.
Kerouac's On the Road published.
1957.
Alaska Highway built during World War II.
1942.
First auto speed limits passed New York.
1904.
Tubman escapes via Underground Railroad.
Yes, 1849.
Cherokee march on Trail of Tears.
Correct, you've gotten us to 1838.
First U.S. road maps published.
Correct, 1789.
Boone blazes Wilderness Road.
Yes, 1775. Ben, you've saved history. Congratulations. Way to go, buddy. Now, I want you to activate the transporter and restore the loot to its proper place in history. Go ahead. Guys, that was tough. We were inching along there, weren't we? But we finally got there. We should all be proud of ourselves. And right now, you and I are going to move on in just a moment. But, Gina, you did so well today. And right now, the Chief has a word about your next mission.
You've really helped our mission today. So we're giving you a TimeNet mission pack and this portable CD player, which comes complete with headphones. I sincerely apologize for that joke. Time Pilot, I salute you.
Right now, Gina is piloting the chrono skimmer back to the present. But Ben, it's time for us to chase Servile and Carmen through the Trail of Time. You with me?
Yep.
Let's go. Look out, Carmen. We're on our way.
We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. Chrono skimmer, engines hot, bio-villains, evil plot. Our brave squadron leader will help us defeat her and bring back the loot to its rightful place in time. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? Stop her crime and solve this mystery. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? We're on the case and we're chasing her through history.
Hey, Ben, we've made it to the Trail of Time. You've got to track Carmen through 6 time portals, moving from the past to the 20th century. And at each portal, Carmen's gonna try and stump you with a history question. If you get it right, the gate will open and you move on to the next portal. You get it wrong, and you've got to work a device to open the gate. Along the way, you're gonna capture Servile. Do all of that in 90 seconds, and you'll capture Carmen Sandiego and win that computer. You ready?
Yep.
All right, ready, set, go, Ben, go! Follow the engine crew to the first portal!
It's 1542. What highway is begun by the Spanish in California? La Baja or El Camino Real?
El Camino Real.
All right, Ben, follow the engine crew to the second portal.
It's 1838. What discovery on Cherokee land leads to the forced march on the Trail of Tears? Oil or gold?
Gold.
Way to go, Ben. You've captured Servile.
It's the 1870s. To where are cowboys leading cattle on trail drives? Train stations or seaports?
Train stations.
All right, keep up the good work.
It's 1921. What does Forrester Benton Mackay propose for hikers? Appalachian Trail or Trail Rescue Code?
Appalachian Trail.
All right, Ben. You've got 2 more to go with 35 seconds left.
It's 1968. What does the U.S. Congress establish? National Trail System or National Park Service?
National Park Service.
All right, turn the wheel. Turn the wheel to lift that pendulum and the gate's gonna open. Keep going, almost there. All right, you've got 1 more to go.
It's 1973. How long does it take to win the first complete Iditarod sled dog race? 10 days or 20 days?
20 days.
Yes, Ben, you did it! Congratulations! You've energized the capture crystal. Now take it and place it in the chronolock chamber to capture Carmen Sandiego. That's it. Wow, that was great, Ben. You captured Servile, you captured Carmen. Look at that big smile. All to the right side. Now a big smile. Great. And here's the chief to show you what you've won.
Time Pilot, you get an A1 mission rating. Now take control of this monster multimedia computer system, plus a year of Britannica Online and the CD-ROM Encyclopedia. I've commended you, I've rewarded you, now I salute you.
Ben, you just won the computer. How do you feel?
Very good.
Good. You should feel very good. We're very proud of you. So right now it's time for us to head back to the present. And remember, at Acme TimeNet, history is our job. The future is yours.
We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. Throttle open, thrusters on. Chrono skimmer gets us gone. Have extra socks and we'll all beat the clock. From the Stone Age to Middle Age to Space Age. And now tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? Stop her crime and solve this mystery. Tell me where in time is Carmen Sandiego? We're on the case and we're chasing her through history. Nero's fiddle, Lincoln's beard, Newton's apple disappeared. The finest tea from the Ming Dynasty. And
all historical information has been verified by Encyclopedia Britannica. This program was produced by WGBH Boston and WQED Pittsburgh. Carmen's journey through time is propelled by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and viewers like you. Mission accomplished, pilots. This is Lynn Thigpen signing off.
To receive a free copy of the 16-page Carmen Sandiego Teacher's Guide with classroom history activities, write to the address you see on the screen.